Hello everyone, I'm so thrilled to be here with you today for another hour of code activity. What we want to do is, first, do you see the picture above me? The Maze Runner? That movie, it was popular a while back when it came out. So I have a clip from that movie down below. You see the two teenage boys trying to make it through the maze. Their goal was to escape and survive. So with that picture in mind and that game in mind, we're going to make a game as well. So I want to show you how to play the game now. We're going to start over here. We're trying to escape from the circle. You want to go to the green ball. Once I hit the wall, which is the green ball, it will send me back to that and make another circle. So the wall is even bigger and it's spinning the opposite direction of the original wall. So we're going to do that too. Every time you touch the green ball and escape, when you come back, you're going to have a new level, a new challenge, making it more complex. So it's a lot of fun. One game I like to play very often. A lot of games are a lot different than this one. This one's very unique. You've got to kind of have some good skill for this one. So without dragging along, we're going to go ahead if you're ready. All right, so now we're ready to make our game, the Maze Runner. So obviously in Scratch, we've got the cat for a sprite. We're going to throw that cat out. And I want our first sprite to be a maze. So we're going to go to Paint. And I want you to use a simple line to make a circle. We're not going to fill the line. We want this right here. Red, whatever. Okay. Now we're going to make a circle. Click Shift and drag your mouse. Make sure the size is around 2. I like 2 best. I think it's a good size to start out with. It's a lot more thick and it'll become a more complex game. But that's up to you though. But I want you to be aware that the circle, when it's done, I'll have to zoom in here. So we click on the circle, we use the mouse cursor. And you'll see there's a blue target and in the middle of that and a grayed out area with a plus sign. So you want them to overlap. See, the grayed out area and the blue cursor or the blue cross were there to overlap. That helps you make sure your pictures are exactly in the center of your activity. So I've made the circle. Now I need a little slit in the side here. Make it a little bit bigger. A little bit more. I think that works. I think that's good. You can make it more narrow or wide. It's depending on the challenge that you would like. But you want it mostly to be the circle. So now let's try, I'm going to call it the maze. I'm going to put that in there. So then I'm going to go back to the code. The first thing I want to do when I make the maze is I want it to go in the middle. Remember, in Scratch, they have a grid where you can have your XY points, your XY coordinates. So you want to start in the middle. So you start with a 0x and a Y is 0 as well. Then we're going to click on the green flag and move to events. Okay, now we'll make sure the circle is in the middle. Yep, we are good to go there. So after I click that, I want to make sure it's the right size as well. We want to start at 100%. We'll go under Looks, set size to 100. Once you're done, I want you to move, I want you to copy the code for each circle. So let's find control here. Create a clone of myself. So once I've made the clone, then I can go over here and what do? I want to make the circle bigger, right? So we want that circle to turn. Now 15 is a pretty large degree. We want it to turn very slowly. So we're going to put 2 here instead of 15. Now if it turns once, that's not going to do much. So you're going to have to put forever here in a code. We're going to run it to see if that works. Oh, I've noticed though, I have the original circle and then I have the clone and they are overlapping each other. So I need to make the original hidden. I'll show you how to do that. Go under Looks, Show, and then Hide. So let's push play again. Let's start the green flag over. All right, that's perfect. It's turning perfectly. So the first level of my maze is ready. Now I need a player, a new sprite. And now with the sprite, you can pick that to be whatever you want. But I'm going to just pick a square right now, a cube. We're gonna pick a filler color. We have a red circle, so I'll use a black square. And again, it can be whatever color you want to, or shape you want to, or enemy if you want to, just as long as it's small. Now again, make sure it's in the center. So you'll have to zoom in, press the cursor, and make sure that the plus sign and the grayed out area match. So that's good. So I am ready with my player now. We're going to call the player, let's see, Runner. Maze Runner. That's what we're going to call it. Maze Runner. So my runner is ready. I've got to move it in the center now. Remember, we do that with the code. Make sure you're on that sprite. You've got that highlighted. And we want to go in the middle here. So X is 0, Y is 0. And then we'll click the green flag to make sure everything works out. Perfect. Great. Now you notice the black square is a little bit too big. So let's adjust the size here. Let's see. We'll go to 50. So if you think that'll work, you can go on from there. You can make it bigger or smaller, whatever you want. Okay. So now we've got to have the player move. He's a runner, right? He's a maze runner. So how do we tell him to run? You could use the mouse, but that's very sensitive. It's better to use keys, your right and your left key on your keyboard. So you'll do sensing. So you'll click the key. Instead of space, you'll go to, well, I mean, there is a list that you can do, but we'll do the right and left arrow. Right arrow is a push, so you push the right arrow, then what does it do? It moves to the right. If you push, then it moves. If, under controls, so if you press the key, then it moves to the right. But you notice it changes the X. Remember, in the game, the graph, you've got the grid, so keep that in mind. You have the coordinates. They're set at 0 to 0. That's exactly in the middle of X and Y. So we want to move on the X coordinate a little bit. So you don't want to move too far, but just a little bit. So let's test that. Oh, we forgot to put forever. We need to put forever. If you don't have forever, then your object is only going to move once. So let's hit the green flag there. So I pushed left, it didn't work, so I need left also. So I just copied the whole thing, so duplicated it and changed the right to left. So a positive number, now a negative number to move it left. Perfect. So now we know that is the correct way. We don't have to worry about that. We'll take care of the rest later. We'll make sure it can move. You can also add up or down if you'd like. So now our player is has escaped. So what's next? Level 1, level 2, level 3. So we have a few levels we want to put in. That will be done under creating a variable. So we're going to create this variable and call it level. We also need another variable called level up, and I'll explain why later. But right now I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to have level and level up. So now we have two variables right there, and you'll see those in the game as well. We do not need the second one right now, so we're going to delete that. So it's gone. Perfect. Now we know there's a level 1. Wait, I said level 1. No, there's a level 0. Wait, we want there to be a level 1. So when we start, we can start at level 1. So let's set this to level 1. So now we've got the player, the level 1. Our character has escaped. But how do we know we can get to level 2? We have to tell it to get to level 2. But to do that, we need some kind of object that it can bounce off of. So level 1, once you arrive there and you've done that, you've completed that, you click and there will be a level 2. So now we need to add our verification there for a new sprite. So we're going to do the green circle once it's bounced off that. You can do whatever. You can do flag or a circle or a square, but we're going to do a circle, green circle. That's fine. No flag. We'll look and see what we have later, but we'll just do a simple circle, just a green circle. Awesome. Now we're going to draw that circle. Again, make sure it's in the center. So where you put it is up to you, but for now I'm going to put it right there. So for this purpose, I want to make it the X and the Y, or no, the Y the same. So we start XY at 0. We want to make sure we have the Y at 0 as well. Now we are ready to test. So once we've completed it, we need to say that we're done, that we finished and completed that level. So now we want to set up an add level so that when we touch that it'll change the sprite. So we'll just call it finish. So when the runner touches the green ball, so now what do? We want to go ahead and do one level up. So we want to make sure it goes back to the middle. Let's see. So now 0, 0 is done, level up is done, back to middle is done. Now we have to let the maze know that you'll go up to level 2. So we've got to send them a message. Control send, or events send, that's right. So let it know to level up. So you've let it know to go ahead and level up. When we're working, you'll need a little bit more space, so you might have to move things out of your way there. So we've received level up, which means, let's duplicate it right there. And one thing that's a little bit different that you'll notice is the circles becoming bigger and bigger every time you level up. We need to increase the size of the wall each time, which is why we have level 1 and 2 and 3 and then level up. So that can help us remember when we have a level 2 and a level 3 and a level 4. And then we'll have to put in there repeat. So you'll follow the level number. We'll go to our variables here. Now with that level, you'll make a clone. We don't want it to hide again, so we're going to move it out. So of course you have to differentiate the sizes as well now and make that bigger because you don't want them overlapping every time. So the set size is 100, and then we've got to add another size. We'll change that to, let's say, 200. Let's see if that works. So again, I know it's gone through the wall, but we're going to fix that in just a minute. But let's see if it touches that green ball. We'll see what happens if it makes another wall. All right, it did. But there's one problem. We have two circles or two mazes, but where's the hole that we can escape from? So what we do is when we level up, we change the level, but we also need to have level up true or false. Right now the clone, we're going to leave it, but then we're going to level up here. Let's see. So we're going to level up and we're going to go back to the runner, which is the black square. And we're going to add level up. Oh, I'm wrong. It's not there. So we're up a level, and level up 1 means if you've done level 1, you can go up to level 2. And how we affect that and make that message is once it's received, then it goes back to 0, and then it follows from there. So let's see what happens when it's 0. It says to remove or add. So we're going to add this if-then statement, conditional statement here. Level up equals 0, and then we've got to delete something. Let me find it. Delete the clone. So we're going to go ahead and test that. So far, so good. Awesome. So the clone is perfect, but the original is missing. So we should hide. I don't know why that didn't work. Let me check my notes here. I put the level up in the wrong place. We need to move that. So let's try that again. Oh, I'm wrong again. That needs to be level 1. Alright, there we go. I had put that in the wrong place. It was under repeat. So when you've started cloning, if it matches 1, then it'll delete. Okay, that's fine. 2, level 3, perfect. And you can go on and on, level 4, level 5. As you can see, the circles are being bigger and bigger, but the hole is in the same place for each one of them. So we want, how we do that is we want to add another variable. New variable. We're going to call it direction. Because for the clone itself, it's for the clone itself, it's not for all of them. We have to pick that sprite only. So now when this happens, we need to add the direction. Let's see, left or right, but we need to add a random number in there. So let's pick 10. pick random number from 1 to 10, or 1 to 2. So once we set that 1 to 2, then it will progress. And now if 1 means it'll go clockwise. If left means it'll go counterclockwise. So we need a conditional statement, if then. And then else. So if then else. So if direction is 1, then it will turn to the right, clockwise. So if it equals 1, it will turn clockwise. If it does not equal 1, then it will go left. So we need another motion placed in there. You see 15 was a little bit too much. So we'll change that to 1 and 2 where it's a little slower. 55, oh my goodness, it's going out of control. You can escape there for sure. So we'll put another number there. Let's test it. See if that works. Awesome. Now we see that it works. We've got some going clockwise, some going counterclockwise. So that's added a challenge there for us. And you notice the player, we want to see if they touch the wall, it'll let your runner know that it has to go back to the middle. So if touch, then, so if touch, so if the runner touches, it'll send the message. We're going to name that touching. And then, so if it touches the wall, then it needs to let the runner know you are touching the wall. You need to go back to the center. So once it's received that message, you'll go back to the coordinate 0, 0. Okay. In theory, it shouldn't go through the wall anymore. Alright. It's stuck. Yep. Until it gets through that opening, and then you've gone to level 2. Okay. Can't get out of that one. So it's being stubborn here. So now I've got to wait for it to go around again. Oh, now I'm out. And I'm at level 3. Woohoo! So I don't want that. We need to hide that and check that variable. That's odd. What just happened? Okay, now it's showing something. We need to take that off. Okay, so that was under maze, not under runner. So I made that mistake. That's all right. Now, suppose we want, so you saw me hitting the wall over and over. It was a forever code. So to increase the challenge, you can set a limit for how many ever lives you want. So let's set that. So we have lives, and we're going to, once we touch the wall, let's see. We'll change lives by -1. So beginning of the game, we'll start with, say, 3 lives. So at the beginning game, we set lives to 3. So at level 1, you've got 3 lives. So I've touched the wall once. I've touched the wall twice. I've touched the wall a 3rd time. So when you're at 0, the game will stop. So then we'll go to stop all. Oh, it's under events. I thought it was under controls. No, it's under controls. I thought it was under events. So stop all. But it shouldn't be after the touching. We need to add another if then. That's right. If lives zero, then stop all. Okay? So let's test that again. 1 live, 2 live, 3, I got out. Okay, we've got 2. Ah, man, it stopped. Game's over. So that's how you can set your game up, and you will continue to play that until you've got as many circles as you want. I hope you have as much fun as I do doing this. It's really enjoyable. So you can add more of a challenge if you'd like. You can have enemies that are chasing you. You can make your walls thicker or smaller, or have different kinds of openings in them. So it gets more exciting the more you play with it. But you've got all of your resources here to help you do that. So have fun coding and have fun escaping your maze. Send them to me when you create them. I'm very curious to see what you have. All right, have fun. Bye.